Anyone to get roundhouse in the face wearing these pants? And then Napoleon shakes his head.
Forget about it.
Yeah, forget about it.
No one stands up. No one has the balls to sit them down and say, look, just cut the shit.
Episode number 5. Enough of the bullshit. I'm back with old Husey. What's going on, buddy?
Hey, man. How's it going?
It's going. Busy. How about you?
Been good. Other than this lockdown, it's been good.
Yeah, oh God. We'll get into that. We'll get into it.
Don't get me started.
Yeah, I know. Fuck. Big week, folks. Big week. It is Masters week. If anyone out there knows me, big avid golf fan, and I wait all year for this week, this beautiful week in April. It's fun. Golf Channel at my house, Kenny's on, as you, well, you know, it's on most of the time too. It's either TSN or Golf Channel, but it's just rolling right now. Just rolling. It's
Can't
awesome.
wait. Can't wait to see who wins a green jacket.
I know. Actually, we were just talking about that. Kenny's like, "Why the fuck is the jacket green?" And
I mean, like, you know, most things you win a big trophy. I'm sure you get a trophy there too, right? Like, it's a green jacket and a trophy.
yeah, you get, it's like a little, it's like circular trophy. It's the clubhouse, pretty much.
I like that it's a green jacket, and I like that it's a little bit different. It's not the same as anything else. You don't really get like a cool jacket. Like sports, you get like a ring for winning a championship. You get a nice fitted jacket, a nice dinner coat, nice thing that says, "Hey man, I'm better at you at golf. Shut up."
And well, exactly. And you can only take that jacket. The winner of the Masters tournament, you can only take that jacket like home with you the year you win. Other than that, when you come back the next year, you return that jacket. And they have yours fitted with whatever, your name stitched in it. I don't know, but your jacket's there and it stays in the clubhouse. Whenever you enter the grounds, you wear the jacket. When you're done, you put it back in your wherever. If there's a jacket room, like, I know they all have their own lockers, so most likely the locker, but I'm not quite sure on that end. But I kind of feel bad for the defending champion this year, Dustin Johnson. So as many folks will know, or people that don't, last year let's just say the Masters are always played in April.
Well, let's just say before you even get into that, for those who don't know, Dustin Johnson's wife,
Paulina Gretzky, the Great One's daughter.
Okay, let's just get that out of the way.
Continue. That was just the elephant in the room for old Husey.
That's the only reason I know the guy.
Well, he's a fantastic player too. And
yeah, but I knew him before he was good at golf.
Yeah, yeah. So the Masters usually play in April. Last April, there was no chance it was happening, with COVID just sweeping across the globe as quickly as it did. So that was canceled, and they ended up playing with no spectators in November. And it was weird, but it was still cool that they did it. And Dustin Johnson came out on top, winning his second major championship. And they're going ahead now with, well, as many cities and many sports are starting to allow spectators back. I just saw in Texas, Texas Rangers had over 40,000 fucking fans. It's just crazy to think, but great to see. And either way, this year I think they're obviously doing some sort of capacity on the grounds at Augusta. I forget the percentage, but it's not close to as many spectators as they're used to having. But DJ only had 5 months with the fucking jacket. Like, I feel like he got ripped off in that sense. But
yeah,
I'm sure that's the last thing on his mind, though.
Yeah, I don't think anyone at that level cares. You're always looking at the next thing.
Exactly.
Once you win, that's in the past. You enjoy it for a bit and you move on. Like, you hear that across every sport. You know, you win, you get to that pinnacle, and then it's focusing on doing it again.
Absolutely.
It's harder to do it twice.
Oh, fuck, for sure. And if there's anyone, well, I shouldn't say if anyone, but any guy in the game today that's at the top of the elite, like Dustin Johnson, if anyone can repeat, it's him. In the last, if you look at any of the champions, any of the champions, like, I shouldn't say that, because any of the champions, when you show up there, they're there to win. And anyone has a shot at winning every week. If you qualify to play at Augusta in the Masters and you get the invitation, you have earned that spot and you got a shot at winning. So this year, like I said, my feelings on the Masters, it's great. It's just a great event. I can't wait to hopefully one day win tickets to go down, because it's a lottery system to get the rights to buy tickets. Very hard to buy tickets, not just secondhand, like scalping tickets, right? Very hard to do.
Damn.
So hopefully one day I can get there and walk the grounds. It's definitely on my bucket list.
I like the Masters because sometimes there's just that random guy who's just climbs the leaderboard, and you're like, who is this guy?
Yeah.
And you hear he's like, he was good in like another like day and age, or he had one random win on the tour, just some nobody, and they come out of nowhere. And even like a casual fan like myself who doesn't like love golf by any means, but I know some of the bigger names, and you hear about who wins like the big trophies and all that, but always hearing that like random amateur who makes it to like, the final cut or something, or someone who's like wasn't supposed to even come close to winning is fighting someone like, DJ for like the championship. Like, it's always fun seeing that side of the whole tournament. Not even just the Masters, but like any big tournament, any major, really.
Yeah. And that's going by what I just said too, is anyone has a shot. And a lot will say that about Mike Weir when he won his jacket in 2003, was he wasn't supposed to win. And whenever someone says that, it's like, yeah, but Weir, he wasn't supposed to win that. And it's like, are you kidding me?
But he did.
How can you say that?
But he did
win it. And he was he was playing great golf in the early 2000s to the mid 2000s. So fuck you. Mike Weir, I still remember that, was phenomenal.
I remember that, man. Just as being a Canadian kid.
Absolutely. He was the first Canadian to win a major. And
mention,
the only the only male player to win a major. Brooke Henderson, I think, is really knocking on fucking Weirsy's door as arguably the greatest Canadian golfer of all time.
Oh, she'll surpass him. I think
she has 2 majors right now, I believe, but
she's still a pup.
She's like 21 years old. Or 22.
That's what I mean.
She's phenomenal, out of Smith Falls, Ontario.
She'll surpass him in no time.
Yeah. But it's still always cool seeing Weirsy at the clubhouse with his jacket on, and it's like, yeah, fucking right, man. There he is, like Canadian legend. So
yeah, man, that was just something like you remember being like, 12, 13 years old. You wake up every morning before school, watch TSN, and it's like Mike fucking Weir won the major. Yeah. He won the green jacket,
the coveted green jacket,
most coveted green jacket.
Yeah. So
Mike Weir
this year, unfortunately, no Tiger Woods. He's still recovering from that car accident he was in there. Last month or 2 months ago, something like that. Big name like Brooks Koepka. He just had a knee surgery 3 weeks ago. They worked on his tibia, and he's out there grinding. I've seen him on the Golf Channel and on the range and stuff. He can barely fucking bend over. Many have said, and they say, that Augusta National is a very hilly course, so I don't know how he's going to go 4 days walking it.
Well, I'll tell you one thing about Brooks is that I play PGA 2K21, and I just beat him at the Waste Management Open or Invitational. So
who's your golfer?
Just Chucky Junk Riley.
I love it. I love how we always name our golfer like Chucky Riley.
Everyone. NHL, NBA, soccer, MLB, any sport. Even like fucking Tony Hawk, anything you can make your own guy, it was always Clayton.
Yeah. I don't know why.
And like, you're always trying to win too, so like he would always take it as an insult, but really it was like such a compliment, because he's like, we play him in hockey, he's on the first line of like, the Red Wings or something.
He would say story mode.
Yeah, something like that. Or he's like, Tony Hawk, he's going up in like, some sick tournament, winning shit, getting signed by Element. Yeah. We're like, yo, bro, we're using your name. Like, you're sick. You just won the major. Chucky Junk.
Okay, so Lee Westwood, Englishman, 47 years old, playing some great golf, doesn't have a major. That's my pick this week, is Lee Westwood. Also would like to see Rory McIlroy do well. He needs...
You always want to see that guy do well. You have like a man crush on that dude.
Dude, it's not that. It's the fact that he needs a green jacket to get his career Grand Slam, and he just tanks, bro, at Augusta. Like, he's had 12 appearances at Augusta at 31 years old, and his best finish was 4th place in 2015. Last year he finished 5th. He had a pretty good year last year, but he just really hasn't turned heads at Augusta. And I want to see anyone who has a chance at getting a career Grand Slam. I want to see it. It's like Jordan Spieth. I want to see him get the career Grand Slam too. And I'm not even a big Jordan Spieth fan. He needs the PGA Championship.
It's good for the sport.
It's great for the sport, man. So yeah, be nice to see Jordan. And again, going back to Jordan Spieth, he's just coming off a win last week at the Valero Texas Open. He's 27 years old, and like it's 2021, he has 5 top 10 finishes already. He had a top 3 at the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am, a T4 at the Arnold Palmer Invitational at Bay Hill. You got to remember, Jordan Spieth had such a downfall in his career the past like 2 or 3 years. Like last year, he was sitting at 82, number 82 in the official world golf ranking. Like just crazy.
Top 100.
He's still top 100, yeah. But you're talking about a guy that was like who was winning majors there. 3
yeah, but think about
ago.
Just being top 100, man. That's a lot of people.
I know, but you got to think that he was like, I don't know if Spieth. I'm pretty sure Spieth was world number 1 at one point, but he was like top 5 for like 2 years, bro. It's just saying how the game can it's a roller coaster, and he's
yeah. Well, let's say with Tiger, man, he was at the top of the game for a while, and like he hasn't been the same for a long time.
I know, but you're also talking about a guy who's had back surgeries and is in his 40s compared to a guy that's 20. He's younger than us, man. He's 27 years old. Regardless,
goes in waves.
He won the Masters in 2015. Other notables for this week: Justin Thomas, Patrick Cantley, Canadians, Mackenzie Hughes, representing Kenny's last name. Corey Connors, you can never even count 2-time major champ. Well, he is a 2-time major champion, but 2-time Masters winner. Our boy, your boy, Bubba.
My man, Bubba Watson. Mr. Richard Mille. Yeah. Guy wears a $250,000 watch like it's nobody's business.
He's got style.
Oh, man, what a guy.
Yeah.
I just remember him from playing like golf video games growing up. This was before he won a major. And I was like, that's his name? His name is Bubba?
Yeah, I forget
I'm picking him. That's my guy.
He has his...
And he was a lefty.
Yeah,
so I like that too.
His first name isn't Bubba. I can't remember what it is, but
of course it isn't.
Yeah,
it can't be.
It's
like Magic Johnson's name isn't Magic, but like that's his name.
You never know.
That's his name. But that's his name.
Yeah. And again, like at 50 years old, Phil Mickelson, 3-time Masters winner.
What a legend.
Old lefty too, right?
I know. I love a good lefty.
You got to think that being Canadians too, like Phil Mickelson, 15 top 10s at Augusta with 3 jackets. Like that guy knows how to win there. He's a lefty. Bubba's 2-time Masters champion, lefty. We were just talking about Mike Weir, first Canadian, first left-handed player too to win a green jacket. Left-handed players, man, and I'm not even a lefty, but living in Canada, a lot of. I want to say, I forget what the stat is, but it's like upwards of like 25 or 30% of Canadian golfers are left-handed, or it could be more because of the hockey influence in this country.
Really?
Yeah, it's something nuts like that, man. It's crazy.
Well, it's weird because like I'm one of those guys who's like right-handed that's my dominant hand, but like basketball I shoot left, hockey left, baseball left, like everything else is left. It's weird.
I always found that weird that you were a left-handed basketball player, but at one point you were right.
I was,
and you switched.
I did.
And then you were trying. One time we were out front, and Kenny and I had basketball, and we would always be out front playing. You were trying to show me how you have it's better, like you had better control, and I just could because being right hand in everything, I just left's not my dominant hand. But
I just remember I was a kid, and I don't know, I like messed up my finger just being a kid, whatever, catching it in like a bicycle. I don't know, just being a kid, like my hand was kind of messed up, so I just started shooting left, and it kept going in. I was like, I'm just gonna keep shooting this way, and like I was a kid, and I just grew up with it, and I just stayed that way. But like everything I swing is always on my left hand.
Yeah,
like a baseball bat, hockey, golf. Like I'm always a lefty. But golf's another thing. I can hit it right, and like I hit it more accurately right, but I don't have the power.
Yeah.
And when left, I can like launch it, but like it doesn't necessarily go where I want it to go.
Which is very weird, and I find that with a lot of players. Like my dad, for example, was a left-handed shot in hockey, but he golfed right. And I just don't understand it because I do everything right, but some people, that's just the way she fucking goes. And I think my old man swung a baseball bat right. And
maybe
I can't remember.
And like maybe I don't know. I'm not like a genius. This is just my hypothesis. But like if you're starting a sport out from brand new, like why not start on like the offhand that's already going to be like treated like a new hand anyways?
I agree.
Does that make sense?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Agree. I agree.
If I'm going to start picking up a golf club and I've never swung a golf club, like it doesn't matter if it's left or right. Like if I'm starting from scratch and I'm being built and like taught how to hold my body in a certain way and hold the club and swing in a certain direction. Like, why not just start on like whatever side? Because it doesn't really matter at that point if you're starting from scratch.
Yeah.
I guess like hockey would be different because like you swing a stick, or like baseball, you already know which way you go. But for someone who just doesn't swing anything to come into it,
yeah, but
you can just pick whatever side.
I also think too, like as Charlotte grows up, I'm gonna say before I, I guess you could just go to a store and say try this hand, but really I could just stand in our house and be like, if you were to swing a golf club, Charlotte, which way would you swing it? And like naturally, someone's just gonna. Because if they've seen the movement before, they're going to try to mimic it, and naturally, just whatever way she happens to do it, it's like, okay, odds are she's a righty or a lefty or whatever, right? I don't know, but
yeah, but you'll probably have a little bit of an influence, like whenever you give her a stick, like you'll show her which way to do it, because you're going to be like hovering over her, showing her like the right way, like on the right side, because that's how you do it.
Mm-hmm. But also, you can
like
just
influence.
tell too. Sometimes, like they may not even know yet. Like with hockey, you just hand someone a kid a stick. Whatever way he puts it is naturally the most comfortable way that they want to put it down. So odds are that's going to be the way they're going to shoot. I don't know, but we'll see. Anyways, moving on.
Charlotte's not going to play hockey anyways, so whatever.
What's that?
She's not going to play hockey.
Whatever she wants, man. Whatever she wants to do. I don't care.
She's going to be a competitive synchronized diver. I'm calling it.
Yeah, that would be. I don't know how.
And no disrespect to the diving community. That's one of my favorite things to watch at the Olympics.
Yeah.
Mad big props to divers.
Yeah, right on.
But synchronized, that's a whole different ball game.
Yeah. Whatever she wants, man. Like
But moving on.
I'll get her in any sport or anything she wants to do, as long as and I think it just should go for any parent. As long as your kid shows an interest and is showing an effort, keep them in it and move them excel them as far as they want to go in that sport, but don't push, but also encourage that, effort and practice, and it's still about having fun, but
discipline and all that.
Absolutely. Right.
Yeah.
So anything she wants, but, that's still a few years away from that. Moving on. You said you wanted to run some random questions you had for golf by me, or?
No, I just thought it'd be funny to keep the golf thing light because you're so obviously like into it, and I don't know anything you're talking about. So I'm like
well, you don't bet.
But like, why is it a green jacket? Who is like green is the most prestigious color of stitch we can put together in a fine garment to hand to our champion?
I don't know. I feel like maybe back whenever the course was designed and opened, I feel that someone maybe just walked in the clubhouse with a.
Is it a designer jacket? Like, who makes it?
I feel like they probably make their own, man.
What do you mean they make their own? So there's got to be some sort of tailor. You can't just make your own. Someone's got to make it.
They're the only place that you can buy their own apparel and like any merch. You can't buy it from stores.
Someone's got to make it for them. They don't have a little sweatshop in the back.
That I don't know. I'm sure there is an explanation for why it's green. I just don't know off the top of my head. I don't know.
How come amateurs are invited?
Aren't or are?
Are.
They're invited. I don't know. Just why not? It's always been that way.
I don't know. It's an invitation. Like when you want the best of the best.
Yeah, but they usually the amateurs are the ones that win any of the national amateur events. So like the USAM.
It's like the best of the best of the B League.
Yeah, the AMs,
or the up and comers.
Yeah. So like there's like whoever wins like the Asian Tour Amateur, whatever it's called, the British Amateur, the US Amateur, I think even the South American Amateur, if I'm not mistaken. Those are the AMs you see. Huh?
Amateur?
Amateur.
All right.
Amateur. You hear all these people throughout the world, they say amateur, all differently. I don't even know what way we're supposed to pronounce it.
You know what golf needs? Golf needs a nice documentary just like F1 did, just to get someone like myself a little bit more invested in the sport.
I honestly don't know why they haven't. Because, again, another sport that has millions and millions of dollars in advertisement invested in a lot of players.
Totally. Well, like, I have a better appreciation just from playing the video game, but, like, I don't know, F1, that, like, behind-the-scenes look and, like, I don't know, a little bit more of the pressures that these golfers go through. Like, you just see them on TV just, like, swinging a club. You're like, how did you not get it on the green, bro? And it's like, man, like, it's fucking hard to get, like, under par consistently.
On a daily basis.
And, like, to win, you got to be, like, pretty far under par, usually.
Yeah.
We're talking, like, -5, -6, -8, depending on, like, the course and the weekend.
Per day.
That's what I'm saying.
Every
it's
day.
Nuts.
Not just for the 4 days, like, every day. Like, usually majors not really much Augusta anymore, but like when you see like the U.S. Open and like even the British Open, which I shouldn't say British, it's the Open, and the PGA Championship, some of the courses they play, man, there's been times in the last 10 years from what I can remember, there's been winning scores at like -2, -3.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you got to have like
crazy,
a surgical eye to get this ball to drop where you want it so consistently over 4 days of competition against the best in the world in any weather condition that's like deemed safe.
Absolutely.
It's absolutely nuts. And I don't think enough people understand how hard it is. Like, people say it's boring, and like, sure, like, I agree, it's not the most exciting sport in the world.
You gotta really love it to sit down.
But if you have a better
it.
appreciation for like what these guys and the focus that needs to go into that, like, I think that's the most focused sport there is in the world. Like, there's no other sport where you need to be that consistent at such a high level consistently over 4 days.
Of course,
like, most games are like, what, 2 hours? Like, we're talking soccer games 90 minutes, basketball games like an hour.
No, you're absolutely
a tournament
right.
4 days.
Yeah, I know. It's incredible. It's phenomenal. And no room for error. It's literally, they do say golf is a game of inches, and it is. Like, there's been times I've been looking at my ball and be like, what the fuck? Really? An inch to the left and I would have been good, or an inch to the right I would have been good. You rim out on a putt and it's like really like a millimeter that would have dropped. Fuck you.
Totally. Just one of those lips on a green. You hit it to the right and it bounces into the sand. You hit it to the left and it rolls right in.
Or like, like a fucking sprinkler head. Hits a sprinkler head next to the green and shoots off into the woods. Like, really? The fuck? It happens, man. It happens.
I've never had it happen to me because I've only golfed maybe like 4 times, but
we'll get you in it one day.
Pretty much scratch golfer at this point. Like,
yeah. Anyways,
close enough.
Moving on. That's enough golf talk because Kenny's going to run out of stuff to say.
Oh, I'm going to fall asleep.
All right. Episode number 5. Enough of the bullshit. We were going to talk a little bit about some craft beer, but I just don't think there's time anymore. But I did come across, I'll briefly just say, I did come across a beer by the Broadhead Brewery, which is based out of Ottawa, I believe. The Blueberry Blonde. Fell in love with it. Fucking fantastic. I'm not a craft beer drinker by any means. Like, I'm drinking, as Kenny chirped me before we came on.
Yeah, you're drinking a Busch. Not even just a Busch, but a Busch Light. Like, I wouldn't even know where to find that in the beer store.
I like Busch. I drink light beer at home because, like I was telling Kenny, if I'm going to suck back 8 or 10 beers, like, might as well go to, like, wake up not feeling like a total bag of shit. So,
hey, man, there's no shame in that. Well, other than drinking and admitting you have a problem. But otherwise, yeah, I guess, like, a light beer is cool.
Yeah, like,
it's
every now
cool.
and again. Like, I was on the Sleeman 2.0s for a bit, even the Sleeman Light, they're all right. But like when I go out to a pub, like I enjoy a nice pint of Creemore. That's
sits good in your tummy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then even like a Canadian too. Nothing beats a cold Canadian. Anyways, just not a big fan of a lot of the craft really hoppy beers, but I am starting to learn that there's a huge variety of beers that I'll like. So I need to really start dabbling in some of these local breweries.
Yeah, you need to grow up, man. It's not so much like craft versus like traditional anymore. Like, all these craft breweries make like, 6 to 12 to even more different beers, and they have seasonal ones, and it's always just a little different, like clusterfuck of shit. Like, they have their cores, and then they have like things that they mess around with, like this Blueberry Blonde that you're talking about. Like, that's not something they're gonna do all the time. Maybe they do, but they're gonna have like a more traditional lager. They're gonna have a traditional Pilsner. They're gonna have an IPA that's going to be hoppy. Like, they're going to mix it about. And, like, I don't mind an IPA on, like if it's cold on, like, a nice summer day, but just one. It's like a Guinness, too. Like, I love a good Guinness, but 1 or 2, and then I'm tapped out. As long as the IPA doesn't burn going down. 'Cause some are just so strong. Like, these West Coast double IPAs, like, double the IPA.
Fuck that. I wouldn't, no. And it's like, it's just my experience when craft beer started to become like a big thing. I just found every time I was taking a sip, I was cringing like, oh, what is this? So I don't know if that's what turned me off. Like, I just, like when you said grow up, it's not necessarily growing up. It's just I know what I like and I drink what I like. If I'm going to try new things, I'd really rather just, instead of doing a variety pack of beers, I'd rather just try a new whiskey or another new bottle of scotch, try another scotch or another whiskey, whatever. I'd rather, as a whiskey drinker too, I would like to try new things in that sense. So
Yeah, well, back
Right.
in the day when you were allowed to go to different festivals like beer fests and stuff like that, it's always good because you can buy like a bunch of tickets or drink tickets and just sample everything. And
absolutely, which I need to do with you because I know you've gone to a lot of those events before. And
no,
I've
I
never
like
had a
I like to
chance.
go to Wine Fest,
Wine Fest too, and that's another
Wine
thing.
Expo.
That's
Oh
another
my
thing. I'd rather try new
God.
wine or something, right?
Oh my God.
Yeah,
That is a shit show. That is like you walk in there and you crawl out. It is
Yeah.
absolutely disgusting. And the best part, the funniest part, I think, is that they have this little station that the police set up, and they'll do a little breathalyzer for you.
Oh, you
They'll
can make
test
that a
your blood
game.
alcohol
You
level.
can
Yeah,
make that
we
a
did make it a game.
Yeah, man. You can blow higher and be like, "Oh,
That's
you're
exactly
fucking
it.
loaded." Oh, that's where they do that in Superbad. No,
Dude, I got chirped because I wasn't drunk enough. And I was like, dude, I'm like 220. Like, I'm obviously going to take a little longer to fill the tank.
that's where they do that in Superbad. And with the
Yeah, they do.
McLovin with the cops. Which, by the way, speaking of funny movies, I don't know if you saw on my Instagram. I threw on Napoleon Dynamite last night. I haven't seen that movie in a good 10 years, man. And
Napoleon, give me some of your tots.
Get your own tots.
Give me some of your tots.
Like that scene when Kip goes with Rex at the Rex Kwando, and he's like, "Give me your best shot," and then he tries to give him he tries to sweep his legs. He's like, "Hey, want to get roundhouse in the face wearing these pants?" And then Napoleon shakes his head.
Forget about it.
Yeah, forget about it. Think I go home to Scarlet every night? Forget about it. I absolutely loved that movie, man.
I could actually quote that shit all night.
Think I got anywhere dressed like Peter Pan over here? Oh, just such a great movie.
Dude,
I
killing
was
me. I was to turn the
dying.
mic off.
I
I'm
was
dying.
dying watching it, man. It
Oh
was just
my
such a
God.
quality
No,
film.
man. Fucking Uncle Rico.
How much you
How
want
much
to
you
bet
wanna
I could
bet?
throw a football over the mountains? 82. Coach would have put me in. You know, life would have been different. Would
Could have won state.
Would have won state. Life would have been. I would have won pro. Would have been millions of dollars. Yeah, Uncle Rico. I love it. I love it. Anyways, that was good.
Yeah, don't get me started on that,
That
man.
was
I could
good.
quote that movie forever.
That's something we should do weekly. Just to like pick a movie and do 5 minutes of just the funniest quotes. Like imagine us doing Step Brothers.
Oh,
But anyways,
I like that. That's actually a good idea. We
should
should
bring
we
that.
should jot that down for sure. That's hilarious.
All right, so we're gonna wrap this up. Kenny, absolute pleasure as always, buddy.
Yeah, man.
Absolute pleasure.
Love it.
If you don't follow Enough of the BS on Instagram, check us out at Enough of the BS. I don't even know why you're listening to this podcast if you don't fucking follow. So follow it,
Yeah, don't be an idiot.
right? Check out Kenny at on Instagram at KHuge32 and podcast, as you know, every Friday on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. Kenny, once again, absolute pleasure.
Yeah, man. Always a good time.
And everybody, hope you stay safe and healthy. Cheers.
Peace.